Hey, you guys, it's Shanda Sumpter here, and I am with Sacha Sterling, one of my favorite people on the entire planet. And she's so sweet, but she's a great example of when everything goes wrong. Well, actually, when every inspiration and journaling and all these amazing things go right, and then everything goes wrong after that to figure out how do you keep going to grow a business of your dreams? How do you create yourself a company that you could even retire your husband, which we'll talk about in a couple seconds. And her thing is really her thing is now, meaning that it's evolved over the last 2.5 years, is really showing moms how do you build a business while your children are in nap time. And so we're going to talk about how you do that. We're going to talk about her success, and hopefully your takeaway in this Coffee with Shanda over the next 20 minutes really is wherever you're stopping, finding that solution to keep going. So Sacha inspires me all the time. So Sacha, welcome, honey. How are you?
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I love Coffee with Shanda. And so it's such an honor to be here. Hi, everybody.
Oh, it's so good. We can see some people saying hi to us as they're just starting to jump on. Carmen, hey, gorgeouses. Thank you. Kate Sorensen, good morning. Denise King. Jamie Bogan, awesome. Hi, you guys. Karen, hi, DJ. Awesome. So as people are just starting to join, Sacha, what are you drinking this morning?
I'm having my organic coffee in my faith mug. Yeah.
Love that. We need to get you a hardcore mug.
Oh, we got those from our zone event 2 years ago, but they got so scratched up. So we're hoping there's a mug this year. The zone event.
There possibly could be. We do have some other cool things. We have some luggage giveaway things, which are really cool this year at the Zone event. Okay, so let's chat. So give everybody an understanding of like Sacha Sterling when she started with us. And by the way, it's not about us at Hardcore. It really is about like where Sacha started on her journey, because you used to be behind the scenes. It was kind of your husband on the front seats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So I've been with you for 2.5 years now. And when I started, I was literally looking for the life raft. We had five struggling brick and mortar businesses and had previously seen pretty great success, but we didn't have a business coach. So when things were great, we were like, woo! And when things were hard, we were like, oh my gosh, what do we do now? And so that's when I found you. And we still had the businesses. It was actually in the first year with you that we were, selling them off and closing them up. But we're at the end of that first year with you about $350,000 in debt.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That was probably pretty demotivating.
Yeah. It sort of, but
you have the best mindset on the planet.
Yeah. So I have this amazing book I wanted to share with everybody called Failing Forward. And it's all about turning mistakes into stepping stones for success. So Eric Worre it's not by Eric Worre, but Eric Worre has a great quote that says, you have to just get so committed where it's like, I'm going to the top of that mountain and you're either going to see me at the top or dead at the side, but I'm not coming back. And that's where I was when I found you. I had already cultivated unstoppability and unemotional, like I had desensitized myself to hard and triggers.
Yeah.
Which is what it's taken for me, at least in business, to get here.
Yeah.
So yeah, there were definitely lots of moments of hard, like, a lot. I was nervous. I was like, I hope Shanda doesn't play live voice text to people.
Darn it, I didn't think about that. I would have thought about that.
A lot of hard, but Shanda, honestly, you've been the life raft that because so much has changed. We were following old business models of what to do pre-internet, to be honest.
Yeah.
And you just shined light on the importance of building a list, selling to a list. We started implementing that actually in 2 of our brick and mortars. And that's what turned the profits around so that they were actually viable to sell. We built those lists up to about 3,000 to 4,000, started email marketing, and then flipped them. And that's what allowed us to sell them instead of just closing the doors. And then,
that's powerful. So you were behind the scenes. I think people especially someone who's watching right now that feels like maybe they don't have what it takes to be in the front of the scenes. You, like your husband was pretty much I'm just paraphrasing, please correct me if I'm wrong, but was kind of the front face person for the businesses. He was the driver. You were behind it, making sure that things were getting done, and kind of like a visionary and integrator, right? Like integrators kind of make sure everything gets done. Visionaries are like casting the vision of here's where we're going next, right? And is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I remember you sitting here, gosh, when was that? When we changed it all around?
Like 2 years ago now.
No, when we came up with like the whole, was it 2 years ago? When you really, because the first 2 years pretty much, I feel like you're pretty much working on those brick and mortars and building a list, but you weren't really on the forefront.
Right. Maybe it was early 2016. Must have been early 2016. Yeah.
Okay. So, because I remember you sitting here and you're like, I think it's time for me to start my own thing, like my completely own thing away from Shane, and just kind of do this thing, and I need to figure out what this thing is, right? Do you remember that day?
I do, yes.
Yeah. And you made this declaration where you were like, I'm going to crush it. Like I'm going to go after $1 million in a year, right? And was that the last VIP day we did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
$1 million in a year. And where are you right now on that?
To be honest, I have, what sales in versus contracted, I still have 2/3 of the way to go.
Okay, but that's pretty good.
Oh, I'm so gonna get there. I'm going to that.
So
yeah.
How much money have you contracted in?
About 380 right now, currently.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. For someone who basically, like, this is a brand new thing that you actually just created out of nothing, out of imagination, out of dreaming, out of all of that. So tell everybody what you do now.
Okay, so I show moms how to supplement their income during their kids' nap time with their part-time online businesses. And I love it. I love my clients. It's amazing.
I know, and they love you too, because sometimes I get to meet them or they cross our paths and I get to see how much they absolutely love you. Well, you're the perfect coach for that because you never stop. Like, I think I'm a mom. I have a little guy at home, and I was thinking about you actually this morning, obviously, because I was going to come do this with you, but we're trying to have another baby. Total vulnerability moment right now. And yesterday morning I woke up and I looked at Ash and I was like, maybe we should just give this up. Like maybe we should just like stop trying to like have another baby. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And just get on with life because it affects my training. And here's where it is in business, right? Here's now flip what I'm saying in business. It's too hard. It affects like my sleep schedule. Right? So, but now I'm back over here with the baby. It's like, it's hard, but I can deal with it. But, it's affecting all my training. It's affecting, a lot of different, it's affecting my events. When we put our event this year in September versus November, just in case I thought I was going to be, giving birth because I did IVF, like all these things that you change. And I think we do this in business. We do it in everything. But I thought about you and I was like, there's no way Sacha would quit. You know what I mean? Like there's no way you would find a way to build up your belief system, which is what I did at 2:00 in the morning, yesterday morning, as I got online and I found women at the age of 40 having children, right? And so I think one of the things that you do so well, and you bring even to our mastermind, is just this understanding that, yeah, it's hard. Like, so what are some of the hard things you faced growing this company?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to be more vulnerable. You've taught me that generosity, up-leveling generosity, but also vulnerability, and not like it's part of the entrepreneurial journey. But there have been some hard moments because my kids they're in the other room. They woke up with me. So I said, please be quiet, but they might pop in.
Yeah.
It's been humbling to be such a risk taker as a mom with kids because they're seeing it all. So like, there have been moments where, we moved out of our beautiful house that had like a mini golf course and, the hot tub and the fountains, and the kids loved it. And it was so nice, into this tiny house, which we're still in. We're going to, we're going to move probably next year when we can buy our house in cash. But we've had some hard moments, like cars repossessed with the kids watching, power out, IRS agents coming on Christmas Eve, accounts being liened, our garbage service being cut off, and like going and dropping garbage into local spots. Actually, there's 2 local garbage places that put up fencing because of me. Like, my local clients, I'll show you where they are. But I mean, but because I'm so nice, like no one ever gave me shit about it, but it's been, we had a car that we called Trusty. It was after our car got repossessed, like 2 days later, because everything always works out, right? Everything always works out. So it's not about freaking out. Everything always works out. Someone dropped off a truck for us to use 2 days after we didn't have a car, but it only had 3 seats and there's 4 of us. And we squeezed into that car for 6 months. Like my kids remember all this stuff, so, but we always have prioritized keeping a good attitude, which is key. And we're really vision led. So it will all work out. It always works out.
You and I have the same mentality. Ash, my husband always laughs at me because I always say that I always win in the end. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think you have to develop a mantra like that. Like Saskia, who one of our clients was saying to me about having babies, she said, you need to have your new mantra is this is the perfect age to have a baby. Or what if it's the perfect age to have a baby, right? And so I think that entrepreneurs, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, first of all, it's hard to do it alone, right? Like, first of all, it's hard to do it alone. Second of all, you have got to manage your mind. You've got to manage your mind. If you're going to do this, like when someone like reaches out and says they can't pay a bill or they can't, do you know what I mean? Like we even have a contest right now in our community where they could win $1,000 this week. Do you know that I don't see any of the people playing it that are saying that they can't pay for coaching? And so, and the only reason why I brought that up is not to make them look bad, but to open up the awareness that it's your way of being on why something works or doesn't work. Like it's the fact that, Sacha, you never quit. And in the process, like I've seen you cry, I've seen you laugh, I've seen you laugh at yourself, I've seen you be really determined. I've seen you be all the gamut. So it's not like you're like toughing it out with like any emotions, but you're not staying in the emotion of the breakdown. You're like, it's like you said, your vision focused. You've got your vision focused on this day shall pass and I'll be in a new light. Right. So tell everybody, okay, you've done this journey. You've now created this company and you're like barreling forward. What are some of the things that you've done inside your company to be able to put you in a position where you could actually grow it?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I did start with you, I had been a coach already for 5 years as doing exactly what I show other women to do. I was supplementing my income between $500 and $2,000 a month, working about 1 to 4 hours a week. And so that was going on the sides. But then once, we talked and you were like, yeah, you can do this. Like, you can really do this. I was like, really? I can really do this? Like, really? Like you. So I built the list. I built a list around my coaching, which I was really insecure still around my messaging. That's been a big journey with you that you've helped me so much with. And within 6 weeks of building that first list of 228 people, I did my first 6 figures on contract.
That's amazing.
And that really proved to my husband that, oh, wow, we can really do it. So we let go of the final brick and mortar. We burnt the bridge behind us. And then I was like, okay, the urgency is really here. And then I've just continued to do exactly what you say. It's so simple, yet so profound. Build an email list, build a global audience, and then learn to sell to that audience. And you said something interesting. I think you said your husband said it, that your superpower is listening. And I couldn't agree with you more, or him on that you are so generous. And sometimes people, I think, can misinterpret generosity as like giving you exactly giving what they think they want. But you are so generous because you actually know what people need. And it makes so much sense that you know how to give your list what they need. And then you model that for all of us. Like, just build the list and then listen to them. Just get to know them and make offers. And so that's what I've been doing. And I've just continued to do those 2 simple steps. And of course, having a great advisor like you is great because there's a lot of other questions that come in with marketing.
Yeah, it is. But the base model is simple and it's not hard. I mean, there's lots of cool things that I do in marketing and business that I try, but honestly, most of them don't work. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh, that looks amazing. Let's try that thing. And then they don't work. Right. And I think people can relate to that. I mean, I struggled when I started my company. I mean, I went from corporate America to growing this coaching company, which isn't anything like it originally started, right? Like plans are great, but honestly, work off a model because plans change all the time. But I remember the first year getting the end of the year and I worked so hard and I made $2,000. I was like, really? How am I still here? Like I made $2,000, but you just keep saying to yourself mantras like, I always win, or, what's yours? What'd you say? Go ahead. You said it a couple minutes ago. It's like just something you say all the time.
Yeah, I say a lot of different things, but right now it's just, I can, I'll do this, I will.
That's cool. Yeah. That's really cool. I love that. If any of you guys have a couple questions for Sacha, go ahead and you can post them in the thread, and we can actually see them and we can answer a couple questions for you while we have her here. I definitely will tell you that it's not like the business strategy is easy to grow. We're happy to teach it to you. You could listen to our clients speak online about it. The business model isn't the hard part. The mindset is the hard part. Karina, so your story to 500 to 2,000 a month coaching and energy healing a few hours a week, now exploding because you have she's saying her story is 500 to 2,000 a month coaching and energy healing a few hours a week, and now, I just lost her, and now she's exploding because she has a list. That's really cool.
Oh, great.
Sacha, do you have a group program or do you do one-on-one?
Yeah, great question. So I followed your coaching that you gave me to do a group program last year and do 2 waves of it. So I did that. And from that, I learned that I really actually love private coaching. So yeah. I have a private coaching that has a mastermind component, which is amazing now, and also a very low end. It's like a high level mastermind, but at an affordable price point for moms, because sometimes moms really have no financial autonomy yet. And so we have that low end group program that allows women to start cash flowing to ultimately move into the private coaching.
That's powerful, Sacha, because, as a strategist, I'm like sitting there going, the more money someone does pay, the more they take it seriously. It's the reason why when you burnt the bridge of the other business behind you, you felt the urgency pop up. So it's also like, Craig Ballantyne, who wrote A Perfect Day Formula, will tell you if you have your goals spread out a long period of time, you will use all that time to get there versus if there's urgency and it's cut in half. So he actually recommends you cut all your dreams in half as far as your timeline, because you can actually hit them in half. So my point in sharing that with you is helping them cash flow in that first program, and then opening up another program that is a little bit more robust and does cost more, and having them stretch for that is really, it's a gift to them. It is a gift to them because the right people will step up and they'll really create something like off the charts, will surprise the heck out of you.
Oh, it's so,
Go ahead.
Okay, there's on my side. Do you hear that?
No, I didn't hear it.
Okay.
I can't hear it at all, but hopefully nobody else can. What are most of your moms doing for work?
So there's 2 ways that we're monetizing the coaching, which is either, selling coaching services in their online business, or actually something that's been new and fun is that some women want to monetize through an MLM, like selling a product. But to be really good in multi-level marketing, you're actually a coach too. You're just not charging. The exchange isn't for coaching. So both are working.
No, that's great. I love that. Krista wants to know what your 5 brick and mortar businesses were.
Okay, so we had clothing stores. My husband's real passion project was called Funk and Flash when we met, and that really was like a Burning Man store. Like, it was great. And then we had a kids consignment store. I signed the lease the day I found out I was pregnant with my second. We had a coffee shop that completely failed, a frozen yogurt shop. We're not meant for food service. We had a really great women's yoga store. So yeah.
That's cool. How you do one thing with? Oh, so Suzanne wants to know, is the list you're talking about an email list? Yes, it is. That's exactly what you're talking about. You can create a global audience through an email list. We teach at Heartcore Business how to do that by having influencers. We show you how to find top influencers in a specific field and show you how to contact them and how to speak to them so that you can get them to endorse you. There's nothing hotter than a referral from a really high level influencer. Believe it or not, I mean, Sacha, what was your first kind of endorsement from, like, what was the theme from influencers that endorsed you? What was the theme of that project?
It was the same. It was something about mompreneurs. The Successful Mompreneur Summit. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So Diane said, I like that, and private with a mastermind component. Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, Shanda, can we weave back for a second? Because when someone asks about email lists, I'm shocked. I know when we start getting used to email lists, we're like, oh yeah, of course, an email list. But it's still I think it's still the pink elephant in the room in business, where people think, oh, if I build up my Facebook following or this or that. And so it is so important. We had over 30,000 engaged followers on our Facebook page for one of our businesses, but when there was like a local recession, that Facebook page we didn't know how to convert it. So yeah, it's definitely an email list, and that's what Shanda shows everyone how to do really well. So
yeah, I mean, it's critical. I mean, we have people peppered on our social media and on our email list, but it's even like Russell Brunson, the owner of ClickFunnels. I was just with him in Las Vegas a few weeks ago, and he was saying, the email list is the thing that saved him, like, from going bankrupt. He said either 2 or 3 times. I can't remember exactly, but he said his first mentor was like, focus on the email list, focus on the email list. And he goes, and I would see a shiny object over here where everybody's making money over here. And so today it's like, everybody's making money on Instagram or Facebook Lives or this, that, and the other, right? And it's like, yeah, but focus on the email list, focus on the email list, because, I mean, you can't build it big enough. Like, it just keeps going. So unless you want more things to, kind of have to focus on trying to learn, it makes a lot of sense. Tomei wanted to shoot you a message. She said, hi, Sacha Sterling. Thank you for your sharing this morning. Getting clear around my message is the hiccup. Once I get this nailed down, I know anything is possible. Suggestions on how to get clear.
Yeah, well, definitely. And I love Tomei. Hey, Tomei. It's really just follow Shanda's steps. I mean, it sounds so
it's annoying, isn't it?
No, it's not. I've only had 2 mentors. I really love you. Your plan works. And I think that's something too, is not to get impatient with the process. I had a hard time nailing down my messaging that was working, where people were coming in and it was converting, and now I have it and it feels so good. But I talked to over 1,000 people from my list last year. I just talked to people. I did anything I could to get on the phone with people, and then I just took notes, and I kept all those sheets, and I would go back and highlight, and I would test out messaging and their words to the list and not be afraid. I mean, I even voice text Shanda last night around, I've had 7,000 unsubscribes this year. but it's because I've been testing. I've been test marketing messaging and just getting to know what works. So just keep at it until it works, and just ask your audience what they want.
Yeah, that's right. And you know how to keep building the audience. So you're in a great space. So who cares what happens in the process? What happens is that you actually end up at the finish line and then find a new race, So, okay. So how can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook, or my website is sashasterling.com.
Awesome. Any last words of inspiration as everybody goes off and faces hard or fun today? What would you like to seed in their heads?
Yeah, definitely. Well, if at all possible, just get out of victim mode and get connected with something that compels you forward, and just know that everything changes, whether it feels good or if it feels hard. It's temporary anyway. So keep going.
That's some great advice. And for those of you guys who don't know much about us, I don't know if you're new to our page or not, we have a zone event coming up here in September. Sacha, I'm assuming you'll be there. Will you be there at the zone event?
Oh, yeah. Awesome. You have to. You have to go.
So Sacha will be there. Many of our other really real clients like Sacha will be there. People who are succeeding, people who are still working it out. Be an incredible opportunity for you to network with people who are really actually doing it. And it's an opportunity for you to get trained over 3 days from me around how to build more leads in your business, how to create more leverage so that you can spend more time doing some of the things that you love, but also how do you just set that up so that you're just not working from early morning until the late evening. And then the 3rd day is about legacy. I never used to get legacy. I mean, I never really used to get and understand the power of legacy. But what I've realized is that as I've learned how to build out, and many of my clients have learned how to build out, what is our legacy that we're leaving on the planet? Like, what's going to be spoken about when we're gone? Or who's going to get this out of our children, or whatever that looks like. Bill Gates, everybody has a legacy that they're passing on, whether or not you want to create it or you just want it to be created by someone. Like, you're going to leave a legacy. People are going to talk about you when you leave. Like, what do you want that to be? To be like, what do you want people to say? What is the impact you want to give on the planet? What I've realized is, as you build out a legacy company, what happens is you stop feeling burnt out. You start feeling compelled to move forward. You are able to make the hard choices to keep going when things might not be going so well, because you feel compelled. Something's pulling you and calling you forward. And if you look at all my body of work for many years now, my book, Core Calling, things like that, it's been all about this. And when I reverse engineer why I kept going, it really was because this was a calling. And so I can show you how to reverse engineer whatever you're working on so that it does become a calling. What are the steps to create in your business so that it becomes a calling and you never stop on yourself again? So thezoneevent.com, it's in the description. You can always jump on. Let me see if I can actually show that. There you go, thezoneevent.com if you want to actually come. I think today or tomorrow is the last day to get to be able to literally get the discounted tickets. So the tickets are going to be going up to $700 a person. So if you want to do that, grab that now. Other than that, Sacha, thank you so much for being a part of Coffee with Shanda. And I look forward to having you on here in the future. And I look forward to continuing to track and coach your success.
Oh, thank you, Shanda. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome, honey. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow.